Good, everyone. How's it going? Good, everyone. Gotta check these settings. Okay, it looks good. Alright, tonight we're doing a live stream here to prep for steelhead fishing. Or not tomorrow morning, excuse me. My friends and I are going to go out to work in the afternoon, hopefully. And if not, Friday morning. We got a day off, so we're going to try to go Friday morning, and then I got to be home early to pick up my son off the bus. But tonight I'm going to go over my steelhead fishing setup, carry on the river, what I'm doing to prep each night beforehand, and we'll just see where it goes from there. I want to keep this stream fairly short, looking at the 30 to 45 minute range. But if there are any questions, please leave them in the comments here on the right hand, and I will address those as we go. If you don't have questions, say hey. Let me know how your day's been going. Come up on the net. So first, I guess I'll go kind of over my rod and reel. And with that, I got my salmon rod for steelhead and salmon season, but I also have some fly rods used for steelhead specifically. I kind of go over those, or all three of those, just briefly. So first one, I'll talk about my salmon rod, and I'm sure they all will later as well, closer to salmon season, which I'm already pumped for. It's gonna be here. I can't wait. I got family members and friends coming up from all across the United States up here to upstate New York in the Pulaski Salmon River area. Legendary fishing there. This past season was nuts. Super stoked about it. Anyway, so I'm using a 10.5 foot Eagle Claw fishing rod. It's a medium action. Let me pull it over here. So yeah, it is a Eagle Claw constructed Eagle Claw salmon bed rod. It is 2 to 9 line weight with a moderate action, medium light power. Like I said, it's a bit long. I got it in half right here, so it's a two-piece rod, which makes it pretty nice to use. For my reel, I'm coming a little closer here. I'm using a Fluger President Series XT. It's a 3500 size, which holds enough line for it to be effective for me. And the line that I'm using is it's a Cope line, 17-pound test. Okay. That copolymer line is a Suffix Advanced copolymer. The packaging for it. See if I can make that clear for y'all. I sporting goods, but you can get it pretty much anywhere. Another good one is the P line, which is a very big brand in this area, but the P line is a good copolymer line as well. I would stick 15 to 20 pound test range for salmon and steelhead. Your main line, once again. I am using a float rig have some other rigs in my box and bags, which I'll go over. My float rig here, and I'll switch over to the hand camera here, just so y'all can see what's going on. So this is my float rig right here. Got a little tiny stopper right here that clamps on the line, and it stops my from sliding up any further than I want it to. It is movable fairly easy. Pull it and move it to where I want it to be, so I can adjust the height of the maximum height of my float bobber, the minimum height of it as well. There's another one on the bottom. Next, I have one of these beads. It's just a bright bead with a hole through it. It can be any color, but it's essentially to help me see the top of my bobber. I'm using a float bobber that so these float bobbers, if you don't know about them, they just have a hole in the entire bobber, and then there's a weight right that kind of weighs it down so it stays upright. Kind of go over that. You'll need more where that comes from. So essentially here I have about a foot section that this thing can up and down on, depending on the height of the water that I'm fishing. This bead that I talked about first, it is essentially to make sure that your rig is floating correctly down the river. If your line is tangled, this bead, notice it's going to be like trying to get it for you guys. It's going to be off of the top of it like this, but you know you have a good float when your bead is right on top of your bobber, just like this. That's the goal. That's what you want. So when you're casting, just keep in mind this bead should be very visible to you. All right, next I have a smaller bead, similar color. It doesn't matter as much for visibility, but it is there. It pretty much just prevents my bobber from being damaged with my split shot, which comes next. I got two kind of medium-sized splits here to bobber upright, but also sink my hook down underneath. And then I'm just tying this all a barrel swivel, which I'm using a double polymer knot on both ends of that barrel swivel. Snip and close, but not all the way up against it in case it cinches down on itself. So yeah, that's my go-to knot for almost every, in which I've gone over before, but I'll probably go over it again. Here I got about a 2.5 to 3 foot leader, and then I'm just tying my fly. In this case, the last time I was using a black and yellow woolly bugger with olive. And I'll put that up here to the screen for you guys. Very effective fly, very versatile fly. I tied this myself as all my other hooks, and I prefer the bead head on it. It's got a lot of weight to it, and it allows some really good swings on it. I'll probably this tomorrow, and then if I'm not having any luck, switch to a couple other. Next I'll get well, I'm not gonna pull it out, but I got two rods. It's always good to keep a protective case for your very expensive So I got this nice TF Fork Outfitters case with my rods. Got a 5-weight here on this side and a 8-weight over here. There we go. It's in the BFO or BFT reels. With my 5-weight is a 9.5 foot, and my 8-weight is a 10-foot rod, fly rod. They're both 4-piece, so they both fit in this nice case. Okay, so tie this up. Next, since we kind of talked about my woolly bugger fly a little bit, I'll pull out my other box here and go over flies that I've had success with for steelhead fishing. So this is my Sims back. I got a backpack and a front pack, but where I keep all the majority of my flies, I will keep some in my front pack as I go throughout the day. I'll throw some in the morning before I go out, and then I will also get just as I go throughout the day, I'll throw all my flies in there so I don't have to mess with my time. But this first case here, I got some small flies that I typically use for steelhead and just trout in general. So first, and a lot of these flies I learned from YouTube, but yeah, they are pretty effective. This first one here was coined the Squirminator. Tim Flagler, I believe his name is. He's from New Jersey. He's a fisherman on YouTube here. It is a mixture of a worm-like fly and an egg type fly. I got a bead head on it, and it's on a jig hook, which allows it to ride hook up and doesn't weeds or rocks as much. It's also got, I got 0.015 wire wrapped around the shank of the hook to give it some weight. I mean, almost all of my flies have that. So, yeah, I'm all about getting to the bottom as quick as possible. Work very well with steelhead, and kind of pisses them off sometimes. So, no, they will strike at it. Some other ones that I have here are just Euro style pheasant tail nymphs, and these are also on jig hook. Just a natural thing. Using a brush, kind of comb out. Oh, let me slide right off my hands, of course, all the time. I kind of brush out the dubbing to make it look gnarly like that. These I use a lot as well. And I don't know, same thing applies. A lot of wire, a lot of weight. I do those in various colors and styles. This one here is a golden stone version of if I could focus this, there we go. So in principle, the tail, I like to split the tail for two for stone. It's just goose bite. Gold goose bites. What else we got here? We have some imitations, which there's no caddisfly hatch right now, but it's still an effective pattern winter here. So I do use these. I like using some nymphs. I've had a lot of success with, some prince nymphs, sorry. I've had a lot of success with white here in the wintertime. I don't know why that is, but it's something that I tie frequently. Yep, we do have some good prince nymphs, of course. These are also a very good, just overall fly to use in any situation, but by far my successful and favorite fly to use on the water, no matter what water I'm on, is the sexy waltz worm. So as simple as this fly, I have caught more fish, more species of fish than any other fish, or than any other fly with this one here. Really thin profile. I put it on a jig hook, a lot of weight. But I use like a holographic type flare to add ribbing to it. A pinch of dubbing, a tapered body. I use orange thread underneath to give it a hot spot head, and then I just bead. Like I said, this thing has caught more fish than anything in this box here. Yeah, it just trust me. Sexy waltz worm, look it up. Great pattern. So these are my small, which, don't get me wrong, small flies are preferred for me than these streamers, right? So small flies, they can catch big fish. Trust me, they fish. All right, now here are used for steelhead, but all I'm using for steelhead are woolly buggers from this box. I got a lot of bass lures here. I got some birds, some grasshoppers and kinter boys. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. Got some gurglers for the summer. We're not worrying about that right now. But we do have these woolly buggers. I can keep them fairly small. I like to keep them fairly small, but I do have some big ones in here as well. I range from just straight black for everything. I use grizzly with olive body and a black tail. I use the same with tail. Yeah, any combination of these work. I mean, we haven't any steelhead on the taco fly, but you never know. There's meat and cheese out there, so you got to be prepared. You know what I mean? And then one of these days, I'm gonna catch him with this guy. This guy's here out on the river, smoking a cigar. You know what I mean? Might catch a steely on that one. Yeah. Or at least gonna catch some big dumb bass. But another thing I will use for steelhead, but really gauge the waters, is these minnows. What's the guy's name? Dang, I cannot think of it. What's the name of this? The Clouser minnows. Are also jigs, because you tie these red eye like lead weights. It's like dumbbell shaped on the tank, and then all the weight of it forces it to ride upside down jig. So I have various colors of these that I always have. Chartreuse and a white underbelly always works. Well, not always, but works frequently. You just want a white underbelly, on top. And remember, you gotta tie it upside down because it rides hook point up in your tying vise. So like I said, I'll keep those in the box. Another flashy one that seems to work for steelhead are just these right here. So it's just literally what's the name? It's drawing me a blank. It's just this shiny stuff here, right? With a bead head, and you're just tying this as a tail. It's very bright, shiny, attractive. Moves well through the water. It gives it a live-like motion. Okay. Like I said, I don't use this box in the winter time. It's more of a summer box for me, but I do always have it just in case the situation and scenario calls for it. So while I have my backpack out here, I will kind of go over what what I got in here. First things, I got this. And then here, I guess I'll switch to the hand cam back to it. I guess on the outside of the bag, my retractable net. So it's called a gear key, $30, but it's got this lock on it here, and it allows you to pull your net out. I keep it on my back side, so one at the way. But another thing is, it's still very easy to access. I put this dog collar leash here, got from Hobby Lobby, I think, for like $1 or 88 cents. But it'll allow me to disconnect the net whenever I need to, and I don't want to be on my back, like when I'm netting for a friend or a buddy. So I do like that. It makes it very easily to access, so I can detach it as soon as I need to. This box, I've got all my spare hooks and shots, pretty much just anything I would need out on the river, quick and accessible. I will throw a couple split shots up in my and then I'll replenish them back here later. Like I said, this back, I keep it on my back as long as possible throughout the day. I'm not trying to access it constantly. In here I have some more just egg beads, colors and sizes. Got the crazy squirming ones, which this reminds me of the fly that I first Terminator. It's got the egg body and then just a squirmy tail. These are fairly new in the last couple years, but a lot of people have had success with them in the New York area here. So, like I said, the box in my pack in the back. I'm just gonna get that. I keep my main line in there as well. You never know, just in case you need to append some line or main line. You got to have some main line with you, just in case. Like I said, this backpack is the just in case. You know what I mean? You don't want to use it, but you got it in case you do need to use it. Here I got some Promix Suffix line. It's a 12-pound. Sometimes I'll taper down to my leader. Steelhead are tough, so you got to be constantly changing your leaders with steelhead. They're very finicky sometimes. 8-pound test works. I use Vanish fluoro, but oftentimes you'll have to go down to 6 or even 4-pound test. Opening up the other end of this pack here, I just got an old stringer for whenever I need it. Like I said, here's my vanish pack. I keep some pre-made. Some of them have hooks snelled on them that I did. Just leader loops. These are the Gamakatsu octopus packages that come with the hooks. Keep these always. I promise you, that is a huge for fishing in the Salmon River area, because if anyone fished there before, you know how hectic it can be with the amount of people there. If you break off and have to go back to the bank to tie a new leader and cut a new leader and all that, you're gonna get caught, and you could miss out on some serious fish. So be prepared. Have these in your pack at all times, and you just tie it on and keep fishing, man. That's all you gotta do. Those stops that I was showing you earlier, they come in like this. I hope that I never ever have to repeat, because there's so many on here, and they don't leave your line, so there's no that you would need this many. But I'm hoping that this is a for life type. I got some more leaders in here. I got some of these beads that I was talking about earlier, and then just a whole bunch of different size and weights of bobbers, of float bobbers, and I got some fixed bobbers as well. So that does the backpack. Let's move on to the front pack and see if we'll just kind of go through what I carry there. Move this to the side. Move on to the front pack. In the front pack, to start the morning, I'll have my GoPro in there. Make sure you guys are charging your GoPros before you go out. Always make sure you charge, because you never know. You don't want to be on the river with a half and you have a tremendous day. You know what I mean? You don't want to have the best day if you're fishing career in a spot and then have a dead GoPro. So first I'm going to go over the exterior of this bag. Let me switch to the hand. I'll get that GoPro out of the way. So on here I got a couple things. So on the left side I have this tied into the side of it, and some of you may recognize this. This is a gear tie bag from Walmart. Actually a huge bread tie, so to speak. It's flexible, but it bends and it'll hold its shape. What I were on the river, and this was I just started doing this last year. I attach to my pack here, and then whenever I'm tying new stuff or I just don't want to be holding my rod, I'll take this and I'll wrap it around my rod like this, and then just like place, and then that'll hold my rod in place, so I can do hand stuff. So I'll have my rod do that, like I'll put it right underneath the reel, and then it'll hold my rod in place, so I can tie knots for a new leader or a new hook or whatever without having to my rod between my elbows or armpit and worry about losing my rod. Like I said, I got two hands free. It just makes things so much easier. I will definitely be sustaining that in future seasons. It's something that's so simple but very effective. It keeps me on my toes. So I have a Fluger multi-tool for fishing. I just keep it on here at all times for whenever I need that. Attached to that, I have this cord here that has my, that goes over to the other side, but it has my pliers, fishing pliers, just a standard set of pliers that I use, and my my nippers to cut the line as close to the hook as possible. I just tuck those in the side here. Good to go. They're not going to go anywhere. And then I got my line stripper that straightens out my line. It's a retractable thing that me to get out to my main line and my leader, and you know, after being on a reel for a few weeks, they tend to you want to have a good straight line for keeping tight. So inside is this part here is like kind of hard. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's kind of, so I do keep some things in here that I like to keep protected. I have some split shots in here, some spare hooks, some spare flies, and then I have a bunch of egg patterns that I use various colors. I did go over some of these patterns earlier, or you might have noticed some of these patterns in my big box, but I have these up with me during steelhead season. I can always switch them out quick. Got multiple sizes and colors, combinations of blood sacks, and yeah, but these are gym blood egg sacs is the pattern, most of them anyway, and then I got some single egg sacs. So I keep that up front. I keep a small light, an emergency light, in case I need it. That's helped me many times, because you know, we go the crack at dawn and fish until unfishable at night. Also got just a vinyl glove. These actually keep your hands extremely warm. If you haven't, just try it and then drop a comment. Let me know hands were in the wintertime with a thin profile glove that doesn't get in the way of tying knots, even with the size of tippet or leader. In this case, when I'm out fishing, I'll usually keep my phone in a waterproof container right here. It's got the space to do it, and so put this back in. This front pack did come with my backpack, or they were a set, and it has these little straps that into the top portion of the pack, so it kind of like takes some weight off your shoulders, and then this part goes around your neck, and it tightens around your waist as well, back. You know what I mean? It's an awesome system. I'm really glad that I ran into it all those years ago. But next we'll go into out of here. I got my glasses case, and these I just got recently. It was a real fishing set from Walmart. It was on clearance, like 50% off for me. Thanks for that. It was a great gift. I do like it. It's got this folding fillet, which I have never seen anything like this before. It's awesome. It's just put it in your pocket and you're good to go. You can't typically a long fillet knife, which I mean, this has a 7-inch blade, so pretty sweet in my opinion. I'm sure it's probably not the most quality of blades, but I like it a lot. I haven't been able to use it yet, but like, look at the versatility of this thing just in my pocket here. These case came with it as well, so it's just some polarized glass, and a cover for and it's got the cord that attaches to them very easily to keep them from falling off your into the water. It's got this neat little that clips on the underside or overside of your and then it's got the solar face shield head wrap type thing. Also in here I keep, and this came with the kit as well, little multi-tool. Like I said, I haven't been able to use this yet, but got some sweet stuff on it. Yeah, I think it's awesome. It looks cool. It's got just a little knife. It's funny because it's shaped like a. Granted, that doesn't mean anything in terms of. But it's got a bottle opener on for whatever reason. I personally am not the type to be out, crushing bottles while I'm fishing. I'm more focused on fishing. It's got this part here is kind of hard to see, but it's got this section here that you can snip your line with, put it between the tail there and cut your line up close. That's a neat feature. And it's got this pretty thick chain that it came with. But this all that I just mentioned there and this hat that I'm wearing came in the same kit for like $10. So I thought that was a pretty cool addition. In here I just got some more line. I got some 4-pound mono. It's just in case I need it in the situation. I carry a Gerber multi-tool everywhere I go. I've got like 6 of these laying around. So I always keep this with me in all my fishing packs. I got some more pre-tied leaders in here. They're a different size, so I keep them separate from my. These are my salmon leaders. Got some tippet rings, which are very, very, very small swivels essentially for fly fishing. If you haven't used them, got some Cortland indicator mono for indicator rig. Very useful, very useful. Got my fishing license, of course, which I'll keep my personal information on. Always have your fishing license on you. Follow your state regulations, and you'll be good to go. I got some more split shots, very small split shots for fly fishing. You won't even find, or you won't even really feel them that much. Kind of give your fly a little bit of weight, because when you fly fish, you're not of your lure to cast, you're using the weight of a line. I got some extra spare tippet in here of multiple sizes. I keep those in. And I keep all my main tippet on this neat, which I attached to my backpack, but right now I had it out because I have some leaders. Yeah, but I got 3X, 4X, 5X, 6X, and 7X tippet on this carrier. For I'll usually taper down from 3 to 3X to 5X, and then maybe if they're not biting down on that, I'll 6X on there. But I have never had success with this. I know some people use 7X tippet on the Salmon River, but I have so many times that I have stopped using 7X. I will only use that for small trout on small streams. But yeah, so that's my front pack there, and that pretty much sums up my gear in a nut. Like I said, I will carry it with me at all times. A lot of this stuff is applicable for salmon season and steelhead season, so I'll usually keep both in throughout the year, throughout the winter anyway, the fall and winter season. I'll change it up in the summer seasons if I even wear a pack. I just throw a box together and carry that with me on whatever boat or kayak that I'm, or just on the bank somewhere. I mean, you're gonna need a pair of waders. I'm not an advocate for expensive waders. I just got me some new frog togs this past. I haven't even worn them yet, but I put some frog togs here, and yeah, they last me for 2 usually, and then I just buy a new one for cheap. I got it on Black Friday, I think, for like $60, something like that. And I for a few years. You can go out and buy the expensive stuff, but my experience, for me personally, and yeah, don't listen to me. Expensive ones, they take as much for me as the cheap ones. I'm just gonna buy cheap ones for a few years and then replace them. Well, but I am sitting at the 40-minute mark, 42 minutes exact, so I don't want to take up too much time here. I do want to thank everyone that watches the stream, and anyone that stops by later. Like I said, I haven't seen any questions in the comments, but I will keep an eye on them daily. For anyone who sees this video in the future, drop a comment and leave me a question, and then I'll answer those personally to kind of help you out, or if you want to say hi, go ahead and say hi. Okay, I'm gonna be fishing tomorrow, like I said. Hopefully we have some good luck. Hopefully the waters are safe to be out there. I know we got a lot of snow coming this weekend. It's gonna be super. It's supposed to be like 64 here, which is crazy for this time of March and middle of March. I mean, last week we got 6 inches, and then it's going to be 64 this week. So I'm thinking that cause some sort of reaction with the steelhead. They're going to get antsy. They're going to start moving, and maybe biting on some flies or some egg sacs. So we're gonna give it a shot. See if change helps us any. Hopefully like I said, hopefully the runoff, not so much that makes it dangerous on the river, because that can happen a lot in this area. New York, well, I mean anywhere, really be careful when you get all that runoff. The discharge can be pretty dangerous sometimes. So always go with a buddy. Always wear your safety belt on your wader, and just be smart. Have a good time, but not worth your life. So don't do anything risky. I say that, but I do it all the time. Just don't do anything risky that you can't handle. Right? Everyone knows their own limit, and if not, you'll find out quick. But yeah, for you guys, and I mean, I'll do this any day of the week, because we all love fishing. That's why we're here, and it's gonna be a good time tomorrow. So I'll see you, in the future. I'm not going anywhere, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.